Hey everyone. Welcome to the Divorce Dispatcher, where we dive into the wildest, most unbelievable stories of divorce, breakups, and family drama. Stories that'll leave you speechless. Today we have the story of Liam.
Liam 27M27W. When my wife and I got married at 21, we were young, ambitious, and deeply in love. Some people questioned it, said we were rushing, but we didn't care. We had each other. One of the things we bonded over early on was our mutual decision to never have kids. It wasn't some passing thought or something we assumed we'd grow out of. We had long, serious talks about it. Neither of us had bad childhoods. I had two hardworking parents who were loving but often busy. My younger years were filled with football matches, pub nights with mates, and working towards my dream of owning my own business. My wife, on the other hand, had a close-knit family. She adored her older sister, Natalie, who was like a second mother to her. But despite that, she never had the motherly instinct. She was fiercely independent, career-driven, and passionate about traveling the world. For years, we thrived in our child-free life. We traveled. We focused on our careers. I built a successful business. She climbed the corporate ladder. We had freedom, and we loved it. Then August happened, and everything changed. Natalie and her husband, Chris, were the kind of couple everyone admired. They had been together forever, had two beautiful kids, Ethan, 6, and Ava, 3, and were the type of people you could always count on. Chris was one of my closest friends. He was my pub and football buddy, the guy I could vent to about work. My wife and Natalie were inseparable. Then the accident happened. It was a rainy night. They were driving home from a family gathering when a truck swerved into their lane. They didn't make it. Just like that, Ethan and Ava were orphans. We stepped in immediately. We didn't even question it. We took them in because, well, what else were we supposed to do? They had just lost their parents. They needed us. Ethan cried himself to sleep almost every night. Ava would wake up in the middle of the night calling for her mom. It was devastating, but I thought, deep down, we would find a way to get through it together. Then came the conversation that changed everything. A social worker sat us down and asked,
What are your intentions for the children?
I thought the answer was obvious. We keep them. We raise them because they're family, because we love them. My wife didn't feel the same way.
We're not keeping them.
She said, like it was the simplest thing in the world. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. What do you mean we're not keeping them? They're our godchildren. We're their family. She sighed as if she had already rehearsed this in her head.
They'll find a family, one that actually wants kids. We never did. That hasn't changed.
I felt my chest tighten. The circumstances have changed. This isn't about wanting kids. It's about doing the right thing. We're their best option. She shook her head.
No, we're not. They deserve parents who actually wanted to be parents. That's not us.
I was stunned. How could she be so cold? How could she just toss them aside like they were someone else's responsibility? For the first time in our entire marriage, we had a fight that wasn't over something small or silly. It was real. And it ended with me saying something I never thought I'd say. I've never been more disappointed in you. She looked me dead in the eyes.
Likewise.
Divorce dispatcher, am I the asshole for changing my mind about kids? I feel like I didn't, but my wife thinks I did.
Divorce Dispatcher is here, you rang. Let's break this down. You didn't change your mind about kids. You agreed to a child-free life based on a mutual decision, not on the assumption that tragedy would strike and leave you responsible for two orphans. What changed is the circumstances, and that's something no one can truly prepare for. In situations like this, morals, responsibility, and emotions come into play. That said, your wife also didn't change her mind. She is simply standing by the life you both agreed on, even when the situation made it more complicated. The problem? This isn't just a lifestyle choice anymore. It's about two children who just lost their parents. There's no easy way forward. But the real question here is, can your marriage survive this fundamental difference?
Since that conversation, things have been different. We still live in the same house. We still sleep in the same bed. We still say good morning. We still kiss before bed. But we don't talk. I look at her, and all I feel is disappointment. A tiny part of me even wonders if something happened to me, would she fight for me? Or would she just let me go too? I know that's unfair, but I can't shake the feeling. Meanwhile, Ethan still cries at night. Ava still wakes up calling for her mom, and I can't imagine telling them, "Sorry, we're sending you to live with strangers." Divorce dispatcher, can I take them in by myself? Or would that affect a future divorce if it comes to that?
Divorce dispatcher is here, you rang. You can take the kids in by yourself, but there are big legal implications if you do. Adoption. If you officially adopt them without your wife, you become their sole legal guardian. That means in a divorce, you would have full responsibility for them. Your wife wouldn't be tied to them legally at all. Marital impact. Taking them in without your wife's support will likely drive a deeper wedge between you two. The question you have to ask yourself is, if you take them in, can your marriage survive it? Future divorce. If this leads to a divorce, the kids would not be part of the divorce proceedings, because legally, your wife would have no rights to them. That could work in your favor if you truly want to raise them on your own. You need to ask yourself, is this your hill to die on? And if so, is your marriage already over?
I don't know where we go from here. I love my wife, but I also love these kids. The thought of sending them into foster care makes me sick. But the thought of staying married to someone who could do that, that makes me sick too. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the moment where our marriage falls apart. And I don't know if I can stop it.
Liam's story isn't just about kids. It's about fundamental values, morality, and what happens when a couple faces an impossible decision. This isn't just about changing your mind. This is about who you are when life forces you to make a choice. So, what would you do in Liam's shoes? Divorce dispatcher signing off. You rant, I dispatch. Would you like an update story on what Liam decides? Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please comment, like, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next video. Your support means a lot, and we love hearing from you in the comments.